What is happening? My name is Apton and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Cyber series. This is episode 13 and today the goal is to finish the exterior of the garage because as you guys can see, it's looking freaking awesome. Oh my gosh. Jab, where did you go? Okay, moving on. Anyways, we have this garage build right here. It's looking super sick from this angle, but over here we have nothing else complete. We need to get the walls of this building built so that we can start working on the interior and getting some epic vehicle spawners in here so we can spawn whatever we need whenever we need it. But real quick, first we need to go rescue Jab because he has flung. I assume he used the blue steel axe to fling himself like so. Oh gosh. Okay, it's a little bit powerful. Good thing when you die in the void, you don't lose your axes unless you're holding them, of course. All right, so we have a little bit of an issue. I currently have 0 lumber bucks, so I can't even get a vehicle to get Jab. That's right, I'm still at 0 from the last episode. Jab says he's walking. All right, you know what? That's what you get. That's what you get for not helping me out with my financial situation. Alrighty, guys, so let's just start off by placing down a smooth wall right here. We're gonna try to not make the mistake that we made in the last episode. We're gonna actually place them efficiently this time. So let's go ahead and place that right there. Then we're gonna place down 2 right here. We're basically gonna be doing the same kind of window thing we did on the other side. And we're filling all of this in with birch wood. So let's just go ahead and quickly verify that this is going to fit 4 large glass panes right here. Looks like it will, so that is awesome. So now the next part is to actually extend out this foundation, make the foundation look a little bit more solid right here. So let's just place down 3 of those and that actually works out perfectly. I'm gonna take that out by 1 more short smooth wall, and now 1 stud above the top of that window frame right there, I'm just going to place down 7 posts in a row, and now I'm gonna place some corner smooth walls right here all the way up. We're gonna need to use some short ones, and then it looks like to cap it off we're also going to need the really short ones right here. Gonna go ahead and place down another short smooth wall right there, and then we're gonna place posts all the way up to right here. Alrighty guys, next we're gonna place down a row of posts all the way up to here, and then we're going to place down some tiny floors up here just to fill in the rest. And now it's time to place in some 1/1 wedges, kind of similar to what we did on this side. We're gonna need to place them all the way along this bottom part right here, and we're gonna have to actually glitch them into some of these bits. So let's get this over here plot shifted. Jab, if you could give me plot shift real quick. So he's just gonna give me only the destroy permission, and that's going to allow me to place it over there. And then I can just go ahead and place these inside of there. And then when I reload, this is just gonna pop back into place. We're also gonna be placing a bunch of 1/1 wedges along the top, but I'm gonna place them down here first so they can be filled in easier. And then we're just gonna place those all along here. And just like that, we got all of those placed in, and then some tiny floors right here just to fill in this little gap right here. And then we gotta do the exact same thing for the top. And that's gonna give us the perfect little gap for a stripe thing, just like what we did over here. So let's go ahead and place down some 3/1x1 wedges. We're just gonna go ahead and place them like so. And now we're just gonna go ahead and fill those all in with birch wood. Alrighty guys, the next step is to just basically build this Cyber Series door from the shop over here. So we're gonna need to get some walnut wood for that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and place down a birch small floor right there, and I'm gonna get a thin countertop, place it along the top of this right here, and that's gonna be filled in with walnut wood. And then on the other side, we're also gonna place down a small floor of birch wood. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and place down a corner smooth wall all the way up to the top. So now I'm gonna go ahead and outline this little bit with these countertops. Of course, starting with the sides and then doing the top and bottom afterwards so that we can get those inside of the corners. So yeah, it's a little bit different from the one on the shop because we have different size constraints and we're adding in this little bit. So this is basically just going to be a little staircase that goes all the way down, and in order to place that in, I'm gonna have to plot shift some things. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place down some thin countertops. And now, unfortunately, I lost some footage from this part, but we basically just extended the staircase to the ground and put some 2/4x1 wedges on each of the sides of the staircase, and then I outlined this little bit with skinny smooth walls. And finally, we put some skinny smooth walls one stud away from each side of the window. And next, we put some 2/2x1 wedges on top. We're also gonna place those up here with these little columns on both sides of the doors as well. So now we're just gonna work on this top little bit right here. So we're gonna need 5 skinny smooth walls along the top, and now we're gonna need a short smooth wall and a short smooth wall stub because this little gap right here is 6 studs long. Now I want to place down some 1/1 wedges all the way along the sides and the top as well. So let's just start spamming these. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and place down a couple of these 1/1 wedges right here. We're gonna need to get this one out of the way so we can get the corner placed down perfectly. And now we gotta place that all the way along the top. So with that in, we're also gonna need some of those 1/1x1 wedges on the top right here. So now we're basically just going to replicate what we have on this side with the paintings and everything. These stripes came out really well and I'm really happy with them, so we're basically just gonna copy them over to the other side. So like we did for the other side, I'm just gonna go ahead and place in some short smooth walls on both sides. So I'm gonna place one right here and the other right here. So now we're gonna need some smooth walls and we're gonna place those all the way along the top. And then we're gonna need to cap this off with a short smooth wall and a stub. Now we have this, that's looking pretty good, and now I'm kind of wondering why we didn't do that for this side, because as you guys can see, we put in skinny smooth walls instead of regular smooth walls, so these little tops of the paintings are visible. I was thinking it would look pretty good if we swapped those out for real smooth walls, so let's just swap those out real quick. And yeah, there we go, we've got all of those placed in, and that's actually looking a lot better with those smooth walls. So yeah, now we need to put in these little orange bits in this area right up here. We're just gonna go ahead and place down a wedge right here. Then we're gonna need a spacer post and then an upside down wedge right there to cap it off. And now we're just going to copy that all the way along. So now, just like we did in the last episode, we're gonna need to get all of these plot shifted out of the way so I can place in all of the paintings. And now it's time to go grab some of these paintings. We should have enough paintings for this. I don't know if we're gonna have enough to finish the building. These should be spaced one stud apart. Now we can just destroy all of those guide blueprints on this side. And now we should be good to reload to get all of those things back in place. And now that's looking pretty good. We're gonna need the orange neon wires to outline each of the stripes to make it look a little bit better. So for that, we're gonna need to go grab, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 levers. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's just go ahead and buy all of those. That's right, I'm broke. Jab, could you spare me? Okay, yeah, you can just go ahead and buy those real quick. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting that I have 0 lumber bucks. You'd think that I would notice a little bit more often. So I'm just gonna plot shift all of these. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and place down some tiles just so that I can make sure that these levers aren't gonna poke through to the front. So now that I got those tiles placed down, I can place down all of the levers against those, turn them all on, destroy all of these tile blueprints, and outline the inlets. And just like that, I have put in all of those wires. So now I just gotta reload once again to actually see what it looks like. And there we go. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. So we're just gonna extend this all the way to about this little bit right here. So we're also gonna need a bunch more skinny smooth walls, and we're just gonna place those all the way along the top. Just place this right there. We just need to extend out this little walnut countertop bit all the way down to this edge right here. So let's just place down a bunch of countertops, and these are all gonna be filled in with walnut wood. Alrighty guys, so we placed all of those up to this point. I think we're gonna need to place in a thin countertop to cap it off right here. And then it looks like we're gonna need to put in more of those skinny smooth walls. And it looks like we're gonna need to extend this little bit out just a little bit more. So I guess I'll just place a short smooth wall and a stub. Place down the short smooth wall right up here. And then I think the stub's gonna have to go right here. So now we're gonna need to put in some separators on this top little bit like we did on the other side. Place that in right there. And Jeb's actually getting on the ferry right now. He's gonna grab some things for this door like the hatches and pressure plates. So to separate these out, every 18 studs we're gonna place down a post. I'm just gonna go ahead and place down a bunch of these 1x1x1 wedges just to round out all of the corners. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and place all of these down, and there we go. All of those are placed in and everything should be rounded out. So now I'm gonna go grab some glass panes for this little window right here. Alrighty guys, we made it to Fancy Furnishings. I'm just gonna quickly grab 4 large glass panes, get them over to the counter, buy them. Oh yeah, why do I keep forgetting that I'm dirt poor? Oh my gosh. Okay, Jab, could you give me a little bit? No, not 20. I need 2,000 to afford these. Come on, Jab. Really? 21 lumber bucks? What? Why 21? Oh my gosh, Jeb, you came all the way over here just so that you can avoid giving me money. I swear, Jeb. You got all the way back from the tropics. What is this? Okay, fine, Jeb. Go buy the glass pane. Jeb, I swear, I'm so done with you. I'm stealing your car. I'm gonna go sell it for money. Anyone want to buy this truck? Yo, Marilee, check out this nice, sweet truck. You want to buy it? It's a little bit of money. Jeb, 550 lumber buck. I can afford a singular pane of glass. Oh my gosh. I swear, Jab. How can we get any progress done? With you hogging all of the money. Okay, I see Jab. He's got some glass. Okay, let's get these placed into the windowsill real quick. Jab, is there supposed to be another glass pane? I have just run out. Did you put another one out there or what? Hey, it's night. We can't go back to the... Oh my gosh. You only bought 3? Is that why you gave me the perfect amount to buy a single glass pane, Jab? So, Jab, that's why they call it a glass pane, because when you're working with Jab, it's an absolute pain. I get it. I get it. Okay, well, on the bright side, I think we can do at least the first little bit with just 3 glass panes, but we can't get... Oh, no. Don't have plot shift right now. Oh, I was just going to go correct my mistake. Would you look at that? Jab has some glass on his base. Just gonna steal a little bit. No, Jab. Bro, why am I stuck on this sawmill right now? Jab's he's probably destroyed my freaking glass by this point. Oh my gosh. I swear. Why? Alrighty guys, we're back at Fancy Furnishings. Jab, give me some money. Oh my gosh. There we go. 90 lumber bucks. We can afford the second glass pane. This should never be such a pain. Oh my gosh. Alrighty guys, we are back at the base with my glass panes. Count down from 3. What? What do you want? I'm scared. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh, Jab just gave me 134,260. Why such a specific number? Jab just gave me almost half of his money. That is Thank you, Jab. I'm finally not living in poverty. Alrighty, guys. There we go. That is how the window is going to look. It's looking pretty nice. Jab is getting that door in. And by the way, guys, we actually have a little bit of a tutorial. It's just a short on my channel. I'll leave a link down in the description in case you don't know how to build these doors. So yeah, other than the door, I think the last thing we have to do is just put in some little supports. I think we actually have them over here. Yeah, we have some little wedges right here. We're gonna do something very similar to what we did on that side. And now to place those in, I'm going to need to get all of these wedges plot shifted out of the way. So now that those are all out of the way, I'm just gonna place down one right there in between each of these little dividers right here, and then also one right here and one right over here. I think that's gonna be everything. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and place down some tiny floors just to connect those up to the top of the building so that it looks like it's supporting everything. And just like that, we have got all of those in. So once I reload, that's all gonna be looking good. So yeah, that is that side of the building pretty much complete, actually. Now we're gonna be working on this little section right here. So for that, we're just going to start off by placing down a skinny smooth wall right here, and then it's gonna go out by 6 more studs. So we're gonna place down a short smooth and then a stub right here. Now we're gonna place down some skinny smooth walls, and these are actually gonna go up 5 skinny smooth walls tall. Next, we're just going to take some skinny smooth walls and just kind of outline this little area. And now for this side, we're gonna need some smooth walls on their side. So we're gonna place this 5 smooth walls across, and then we're going to cap it off with a smooth wall stub. Then we're basically just gonna replicate what we have over here. And then from there, we're gonna just take a smooth wall, place it on its side right here. And then I think we're gonna need a smooth wall stub. And yeah, that is the framing for this next section. So we're gonna start off by filling in this wall right here. And for this, I essentially just want a big open window right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a post and we're just going to place that all the way up 9 high. Just like that, so there's a 2 stud gap right above, and that's where we're basically just going to be placing this segment that we placed on the bottom right up top. And now we're basically just going to place these posts but on the other side. Now behind that, I'm going to place down a blue spruce section. So we're going to place a smooth wall right here in the middle. Then we're going to place skinny smooth walls along the sides. And then we're going to place a smooth wall right here on the top like what we did for the bottom. Now since this is a window, we're going to just put down these corners like we've done for a bunch of the other windows. So I'm just going to place down a 4/4x1 wedge on this corner right here and one right up here. And now we're gonna have to do the same thing for the blue spruce. So we're gonna grab a 3/3x1 wedge, and that's just going to make sure that that is all even. Let's just get another one for the top and place it right here. So yeah, there we go. We have this little window that is looking sick so far. And now along this side, I just want to put down some 1/1 wedges all the way up to the top. And now we're gonna need to fill this all in with glass panes, and it looks like the sun is actually coming up, so let's just head over to fancy furnishings. We're gonna need quite a lot because I intend to put a lot of windows on this little section. And there we go. There are all of the glass panes. Now we're gonna need to outline it with the cyan neon wires as always. I think we'll have enough for this window, but probably not the next few. Alrighty guys, so we've got 4 levers. I'm just going to plot shift this out of the way so that we can actually place the lever inside of there. So let's place down a lever right here and then turn it on. And now we just need to outline the window with cyan neon wires. Alrighty guys, that is the window, nice and outlined. It's looking really good, to be honest. That is awesome. So yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty much it for that wall. Now we're gonna shift our attention to this front wall right here. So for this wall, we're just gonna start off with a little window. So we're gonna place down 3 skinny smooth walls on both sides, and these are all going to be filled in with blue spruce, and that should all seal it off. And now above that, we're just going to also place in a skinny smooth wall of birch wood along the top. And now in order to place glass panes in here, we're actually going to have to glitch some of these out of the way. So I'm just going to plot shift all of these. And now with all of those out of the way, I'm just going to go ahead and place in all of the glass panes. And now Jeb's just going to get the framing back in place so that I can see what I'm doing. Now this next part was actually a little design that Writer HQ has come up with. It's pretty awesome. So we're just going to go ahead and start off by placing some 2/2x1 wedges. And now we're going to take a 2/3x1 wedge and we're going to place it on both sides, one stud above there. And we're going to fill in the gaps with tiny floors. And then we're going to place a 2/4x1 wedge against that, and now we're gonna take a 1/4x1 wedge and we're gonna place that upside down as well as right side up like so, and there's gonna be a little bit of a gap right there, so we're gonna have to fill that all in with posts. And now we're basically just going to mirror that vertically, so we're just gonna build what we built but upside down. Alrighty guys, there we go, we got the window in. Now all of the other windows have these little wedges on the sides, which is gonna be a little bit awkward to do with this thing, and they also have the cyan neon wire that outlines it. So instead of doing it on that level, I'm just gonna do that with the birchwood on the birchwood level. I'm just gonna do that on both sides, and then we're just going to outline that with the cyan neon wires, and that's actually gonna be it for all of the cyan neon wires that we have. So we're gonna go make a quick trip over to the Link's Logic to grab some more. And there we go, we got all of that outlined. That's looking pretty good. Now for this upper bit, I'm going to need to go ahead and place down some posts. We're going to be filling these all in with birchwood, and I'm going to place them along the top, one stud in. Now I'm going to place one post on both sides, and now we're going to need to place some tiny floors on top of that because we need those to go up by 2 more studs. And then on top of those, I'm just going to place down some smooth walls. Now I'm going to place down some 2/4x1 wedges on each side. And now this little hole right here, I'm just going to be filling that with the orange paintings, much like what we did right here. For that, I'm gonna have to plot shift some of these things out of the way, and I'm gonna place these 2 tiles back. I'm gonna place one right here and one right here, and now I'm gonna need to get one of these paintings out of the way so I can place the lever down. Now I just gotta outline this little bit right here. Now I'm just going to place a row of 2/4 wedges along the top. Next, I actually have to plot shift these out of the way. And with those out of the way, I'm just going to go ahead and place down a 4/3 wedge right here. And now the next step is to place down some 3/3x1 wedges, 2 on that side, and then 2 on this side with a 2 stud gap from the other wedges. And yeah, that should all look great once I reload, because right now it looks a little bit weird. So I'm just gonna go ahead and reload, and oh my gosh, wow, we are at data size 5. Crazy, guys. Alrighty guys, I have just reloaded, and that is looking much better now that everything is actually in. Now to finish this wall off, I'm actually just gonna place down some 1/1 wedges all the way along the top of this little bit right here. So now I guess it's time to start working on this wall right here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place down a post on both sides right here, and then we're gonna use a spacer, just a smooth wall right here just to space everything out, and then we're gonna place down a post right here. So these are each one smooth wall apart, and then we're gonna place down another post on top of each of those, just one stud over. Now I'm gonna place down a row of blue spruce smooth walls, one stud below the top of those posts that we just placed. And much like this bottom row, we're also gonna need to place in a smooth wall stub to fill that little gap right there. And now for each and every one of these, we're gonna need 5 posts. And now that we got those in, I'm just gonna go ahead and place in some large floors, one stud above the bottom of these smooth walls. We're gonna place those 3 high, and we're only gonna be doing this for these side bits right here because I want to put a window in the middle. Now we're just going to go ahead and place in some smooth walls on both sides, trying to make a little opening for a window. Let's just quickly go ahead and verify that that's going to fit some glass panes, and yes, that looks like it will. Just going to place these in right here. Place some smooth walls down here, 3 studs above there. What jab? What are you? What what was that? Bro just went sideways. All right, let's go ahead and fill that in. Now I'm going to place some tiny floors on top of each of these posts just to bring them up to the same level as all of the walls. And now I'm going to place a row of skinny smooth walls along the top. So this is what we have so far. I'm just going to actually place in some fences right inside of these posts right here. Let's see, can I... It looks like I can actually rotate those in, so that is super convenient. Let's do that for all of these. And now I'm going to place some tiny floors against each of the top of the columns on the skinny smooth walls along the top. I think I'm also going to do the fence trick for these ones right here as well. And now that we got that in, it is time to actually start with some wedge work. So I'm just going to grab a 1/1 by 1 wedge, place that all the way along on each of these little jagged bits. And then these fences I'm actually gonna have to plot shift out of the way so that I can place in some 1/2 by 1 wedges on top of each of these jagged bits. And I'm also gonna do the same thing for the top. And on top of each of those, I'm gonna take some 2/2 by 1 wedges and place them right on top. And now it's time to absolutely litter this place with 1/4 by 1 wedges. So we're just going to be placing a bunch of stripes of this stuff. And with all of those placed in, I'm actually going to use more 1/4 by 1 wedges. We're actually going to be doing kind of like a zigzag pattern all the way up each of these columns right here. Alrighty guys, so we got all of those in. I did destroy the top little bit because we're actually going to be placing some 1/1 wedges right up here. These are all going to be filled in with birchwood, and we're also going to be placing some in right here as well. And that's just going to smooth everything out, and we're actually also going to be doing that for this little part down here as well. And now we also need to smooth out this little section right here with more 1/1 by 1 wedges. Oh my gosh, Jeff, that was so close. And now it is time to start working on the window. So I'm going to get some of these glass panes in here, and then I'm going to plot shift them out of the way. And then I'm going to place down some 2/2 by 1 wedges, one on this little corner. It's going to be a little bit of a different window design than what we did over here. So we are going to have the corner bits right here, but we're actually going to also put in a little corner bit right here and right here. And I don't know, I kind of like the shape. It looks pretty cool. So now we just got to outline it, and just like that, we have successfully outlined that with the neon wires. So that's actually a finished window. And now I'm just placing some smooth walls along this top section right here. And now on top, I'm gonna place a row of skinny smooth walls. And now this section up here is going to be yet another orange section. So I'm just going to place in some corner pieces, a 1/3 by 1 wedge on this corner, and then another on this corner. And now I'm going to place a row of 1/1 wedges all the way along the top. And now I actually need to get some of those plot shifted out of the way because I want to glitch some 1/2 by 1 wedges inside of them, as well as some 1/2 wedges. Alrighty guys, for the next step, we're going to need some more paintings. So we're going to need to take a trip over to the painting shop. And with those all bought, it is now time to start glitching the paintings into this little wall right here. As always, I'm going to be placing those against 2 tiles. And just like that, I have put in all of the paintings. Each and every one of these is glitched 1 stud into the next one. And that just makes sure that there's not going to be any gaps, because there is actually a slight gap if you don't do that. And now I'm just going to go ahead and outline all of that. Just like that. And now now we should be pretty much done with this wall. So yeah, guys, that is looking absolutely sick so far. So for this next wall, we're just going to basically replicate almost exactly the same thing that we did for this wall right here. So yeah, let's just get to building. Alrighty, guys, so I think that is actually that whole wall finished. Obviously, some things are still plot shifted, but yeah, now we can shift our focus over to this wall over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and place down some corner smooth walls along the bottom right here, and a short smooth wall to cap it all off. And now I'm gonna take a skinny smooth wall and I'm gonna place it on top of that corner right there. We're gonna go up by 4, and then we're gonna have a short smooth wall to cap it all off. Now we're gonna come out by 1 skinny smooth wall right there, and then we're gonna place another skinny smooth wall, and we're just gonna keep doing that until we get to here, and it looks like all of those are perfectly spaced out. So now we can destroy these, and now I'm gonna take a smooth wall and I'm gonna place it in between each of these. And now it's time to basically replicate what we have going on right here over here. So I'm going to place down a row of 1/2 wedges along here all the way up to the top. And with all of those placed in, I'm just going to go ahead and place in a row of skinny smooth walls along here, leaving a 1 stud gap right there. And then in order to cap that off, I'm going to need to use a short smooth wall and a skinny smooth wall stub. And then much like what we did with this little section right here, we're just going to take these 1/2 wedges all the way to this edge. And in order to make it turn, we're going to have to glitch the top one in right there. So I'm actually going to double layer this little section, and that's going to leave a 4 stud gap right here, much like what we have going on over here. Then I'm going to place down a row of skinny smooth walls against there, and then I'm going to place down some skinny smooth walls along the top right here. And then after that, we're going to need to place the walnut countertops all the way up. And with that placed in, we can now start putting in all of the dividers for this. So we're basically just going to do the exact same thing that we did on this side. We're just going to place posts in line with what we did over here. And then I'm just going to eyeball this one. That looks about right. And then we just got to round out all of the corners. And with that placed in, we now have this little outline all finished. So now we just need to focus on this little blank space right here. So I'm going to start off by extending these skinny smooth walls up by a short smooth wall right there. And then we're going to take a 4/4x1 wedge. We're going to place it right here and right here. And now I'm going to just go ahead and place down some skinny smooth walls against those. We're going to stack those 2 high. And then on top of that, we're going to take a 3/2 wedge. And we're going to place it right here and right here. Then I'm going to place some smooth walls on top of that. I'm just going to place a tiny floor right here and right here. And next, I'm going to get a 1/1 wedge, and I'm going to place it along here. And then on each of these gaps, I'm going to place a large floor. Now I'm going to grab a 3/3 wedge and place it along each of these gaps. And then I'm going to place some 1/3 wedges along the top right here. And then on each of these sides, I'm just going to fill these with some birch wood just to cover these gaps. And then I'm actually going to place in a golden pipe right here. So it's just going to go along this little bit, and we're gonna take a 1/1 wedge. We're gonna place those on the top and bottom, and yeah, that looks pretty good. So now I think the only thing left to do is actually to put in some windows right here. I'm gonna place in a skinny smooth wall on the top and bottom of each of these inlets, and then on each of the sides I'm going to place in some posts. And now I'm going to place in some more wedges on 2 of the corners like we always do with these. These are going to be 3/4x1 wedges, and I'm going to place one right here and one right here for each of these windows. And now I actually have to get all of these plot shifted out of the way so that I can place glass panes in there. And there we go, we got all of the glass in. Now I just have to reload my base to get all of those frames back. I think that's going to be the fastest way to do this. And with all of those frames back in, I'm just going to get all of these glass panes out so we can glitch in some levers. And now for these windows, we're actually going to be using some orange neon wires, which is different from all of the windows that we've done so far. And with that placed in, I think that is pretty much all of the walls finished. That is super exciting. Now, the last step is actually just to put in the roof. So we need to put in a roof section right here and also just fill in this large floor section right here. And we will be done with the exterior of this building. That is so exciting to say. Now I'm just going to place a large floor right here such that it is hanging off the edge by 2. Place another large floor against that. And then we're going to take this back by 6 more large floors. And now we're just gonna fill that all the way in with more large floors. Right here, I think I'm gonna have to glitch these out of the way real quick so that I can place this large floor. And I'm actually going to extend this side out by an extra 6 studs. So I'm gonna place down a smooth wall and then a skinny smooth wall. And now I just need to double layer this. And just like that, we have gotten everything double layered. 1 stud away from the edge right here. We're going to place down a corner smooth wall right there and another one right there. And then the same for the back, except I'm going to do it 2 studs out just because that's how we're going to make sure everything lines up properly. And now we're just filling all of these gaps in with the walnut countertops. And now each of these dividers that I'm placing in are going to be 15 studs apart. And then as always, we're just going to round out all of the corners. Alrighty guys, now it's time to cap it all off, and Jab's actually getting some 1/1 wedges along the front, which looks pretty cool. So I'm just gonna place this 6 studs off the edge right here, and then an extra 2 studs off the edge of that. Now I'm gonna take that all the way back. And we're actually going to need this to go out by an extra couple of studs. And then we can place in the rest of the large floors and take this side all the way back as well. And now we just need to put on a top layer. And just like that, we have finished the top. Now we just need to add some of the bumps like what we did right here. I'm just gonna add some of these little ridges on the top bit right here and right here. And there we go. We got the little corrugated bits right here and right here. That's looking pretty good. I'm just gonna do pretty much the same thing that we did right here with the cyan neon wires real quick. Alrighty guys, so I've got all of those glitched in. Now the very last step, I believe, is actually just to fill in this little hole we have in the roof, and I think we will actually be done with this building. And with this post right here, the entire building, from the exterior at least, is complete. I just need to reload real quick so that all of these little things pop back into place so we can see this in all of its glory. Let's just go ahead and reload our slot real quick. And there we go, guys. We can see just how beautiful this building is. We've made a lot of progress in this episode. We got a lot more walls done than we did in the last episode. As a reminder, we only got these 2 walls done in the last episode. But I mean, they were pretty complicated, especially these, because these actually have working, functioning doors in them. And of course, we had all of these cool little icons that took a while to make. I'm super happy with the way that things have turned out for the exterior of this building. But yeah, guys, in the next episode, we need to focus on this interior because it is looking atrocious right now with all of those exposed paintings. They don't look very good. We're gonna have a bunch of spawners and probably some workbenches. Just stuff you would find in a futuristic garage, which is super exciting. Can't wait to start working on that. But yeah, that's gonna have to be in the next episode because we have just about run out of time for this episode. Huge shout out to Jab for helping me in this episode, and thank you to Writer HQ for making this beautiful window design that we ended up using for this episode. It's looking super awesome. Anyways, I just want to take a quick moment to thank the members of the Apton channel for making videos like this more possible. If you'd like to support what I do, you can become a member by pressing the join button right next to the subscribe button, and you can unlock some epic perks like early access to videos, easy contact with me, and some some member-only videos and live streams, just to name a few. But yeah, guys, with that said, I'll see you in the next episode of the Cyber series once it's out. See ya!